Since the latest re-election of President Obama, the United States as a nation has been at an utmost peak and almost standstill when it comes to gun control and gun laws. California's stricter gun laws involving magazines, higher capacity weapons, and recently added laws pertaining to magazine alteration kits. The question is, where is California's future headed and how? One aspect is involving gun control and mortality rates in states that have less strict laws compared to California. And the ultimate question for both sides of the issue is, can California change for the worse or better, either passing laws enforcing even stricter gun control than that is already in place? And just how far is too far before it is considered infringing on a constitutional right that was established over 200 years ago?
I want to talk about what's right with America, and one of the things is the Second Amendment. Our Second Amendment rights to bear arms. Now,
the sport of shooting has been increasing in popularity since the origins of this nation. It has become so popular that there are now several organizations and societies for shooters to join. For example, the National Rifles Association and the Single Action Shooters Society, which originated in Southern California. Shooting is also an Olympic sport. In many regions, the tradition of hunting has been passed down through generations. Americans spend an estimated $22.9 billion a year on hunting expenses. Guns are clearly embedded in American culture. After a few attempts on getting an interview, we quickly realized that the gun control issue was too controversial for anybody to want to talk about it. We did, however, get one solid comment from a gun store manager who said he didn't feel it necessary to have a fully automatic assault rifle. Sounds like a gun lover agrees with a gun hater.
This is a powerful weapon. He had a 100-round drum. This is a man who planned it, who went in, and his purpose was to kill as many people as he could in a sold-out theater. I think, we've got to sit down and really come to grips with what is sold to the average citizen in America. I have no problem with people being licensed, buying a firearm, but these are weapons that you're only going to use them to kill people in close combat. That's the purpose of that weapon. You can put a Hellfire switch on it.
She does make a good argument. Why does a hunter or sportsman need these high-capacity automatic rifles?
Well, you'll find out now as we begin our top 10 list, starting with number 10, gun control reduces crime. The horror of the shootings at Virginia Tech had many people talking about gun control.
It is statistically shown that gun control in California dropped 56% from 5,500 gun deaths in 1993 to 2,935 in 2010. According to the study, California's population expanded from about 30 to 37 million people over the same period.
Now, a lot of people argue that, with more guns on the street, you're going to have more violence. Well, that just hasn't been happening. When you look at the violent crime rate, since 2006 has actually been going down, and the violent crime in America in the 2000s has actually been a lot lower than in the 1990s when we had a lot more gun control. Think about the Clinton assault weapon ban or whatever. Obviously crime has been going down, and also since 2006 we've actually had an explosion of gun sales. The NCIS background checks, the same checks you go through when you buy a gun from a gun shop, they've shown that there's been a big increase since 2006. So actually that theory that with more gun sales in the hands of law-abiding citizens, more violence, that theory has been blown completely out of the water. It doesn't make it.
There are states with lenient to no gun control laws that have a relatively low amount of gun crime compared to states that have strict gun control policies. These states include Idaho, Wisconsin, North Dakota, and Alaska. In 2011, Wisconsin suffered 80 deaths due to gun violence, and in Idaho, 17 deaths. This is a small number compared to the more strict gun control states. In 2011, California suffered 1,220 deaths, and New York 445 deaths. These two states are responsible for almost 20% of all firearm murders in the United States.
The gun control issue has been debated extensively through the recent history of the United States, but events like the shootings at the Sandy Hook Elementary School and the Columbine shooting in 1999 really call for a change in how our nation handles gun violence. But no matter what each state does, it seems like nobody has found the right answer, because we feel that the gun control issue isn't a matter of what kind of guns people should be allowed to have, but more an issue of who should be able to have them. Violence is just part of human nature, and people who want to behave violently will do so no matter what laws are in place.
I mean, is there anything that we as a society can do to protect ourselves from these kind of twisted minds?
You know, unfortunately, I don't believe so. I mean, I wish there was. I wish I could wave a magic wand and make this tragedy go away. I wish I could wave a magic wand and pass a law to prevent something like this in the future. But the fact of the matter is, I really don't think there is, other than look to our families, look to our communities, and start taking a look at our education system. You know, we've got to reinstill values in what we're teaching our children.
We believe that in order to alter the course of gun violence in California, we need to look at the next generation. Gun control isn't going to change overnight, and there is no law that can just end gun violence. What we suggest is creating an education program similar to DARE that teaches children that guns are never the right answer, and that in order for the California gun violence to get any better, we need to do a better job educating our youth.